please don't hit me with that dislike button and yell at me just yet. For those who aren't familiar with the console war of the past decade, the console war has been the battle between two gaming consoles, the Sony PlayStation and the Microsoft Xbox. The battle of hardware, online software, exclusives, and more have been compared and defended time and time again. But as an actual gamer that has owned and played many consoles and many games ranging from modern FPS to games on Atari 2600, I never understood the rivalry. When someone mentioned the console war, I would always think of the battle that ended when I was a kid, the Nintendo-Sega console war. The Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System versus the Sega Master System and the Sega Mega Drive, aka the Sega Genesis, were one and the only consoles pitted against each other. With the very similar hardware, it was all about the exclusives and controllers to separate them. The famous commercial catchphrase, Sega does when Nintendo don't, showed how much these two gaming Goliaths battled for superiority. In the end, Nintendo came out a winner after Sega's failed 32X, Sega CD, and unreleased Neptune, and weak sales of the Saturn and the Game Gear. This gave room for Sony to release the first true CD gaming console, the PlayStation. Taking over titles such as Castlevania, the PlayStation was a huge success along with new franchises like Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie. Yes, there was the Dreamcast, there's no way I could forget about that. It's just that it was too late for Sega at that point in time. But in the background of the true gaming console war was the United States trying to get in on the video game market. Other than making games that were most of the time nothing more than abominations, fuck you LGN, and illegal, fuck you Wisdom Tree, the US tried to make their own gaming consoles. The short-lived successes were the Commodore 64, the Odyssey consoles, Intellivision, ColecoVision, and over a dozen Pong consoles. The most famous of failures was the CDI, which tried to integrate new gaming styles which never caught on. But the US never did give up on making their own consoles. So far, Japan dominated the market, leaving only the PC world partially untouched for US and other countries to develop games. But it was when the internet came into the picture that things began to change. Online gaming is nothing new. Even back on the NES, there was online capabilities. Don't ask me how, it's far too complicated for me to even explain as I barely understood it from my tech friends. But there wasn't a refined online system. Sure, there was a PC gaming and Sim DSL, but not truly refined enough to call an online gaming network. This was finally achieved with the Microsoft Xbox and Xbox Live. The Xbox was the first truly successful American gaming console, and most likely the last. Their flagship exclusive Halo supported an amazing campaign that even the Japanese loved, if not the console, and a multiplayer that was familiar yet diverse, drawing in a new generation of gamers along with the previous Nintendo generation. I myself am one of those gamers owning 2 original Xboxes, making Halo my first FPS. Well, if I want to be more specific, I could say that Doom on the Super Nintendo and Wolfenstein were my first true FPSs, but I have to relate more to the kids with this game. I love both the PlayStation 2 for its exclusives and Xbox for its own, and couldn't wait for what the future held in store. Sadly, it was not what I wanted. The Xbox 360 brought forth Halo 3, which I had been so excited to play, but when I finally did play it, I was greatly disappointed. The game looked and played very well, but the campaign was incredibly short compared to its predecessors, as Bungie was now focusing on the multiplayer capabilities of the refined Xbox Live. Games as a whole on the Xbox were turning into multiplayer games along with the Xbox Arcade exclusives. The introduction of Party Chat, which allows you to talk with your friends even if they were in separate games, and easy invitation made the social aspect of gaming easier than ever before. This grabbed the attention of the younger gaming audience of America who, unlike the Nintendo generation, were growing up with computers and social media. Because of this, Nintendo was on the ropes. If it wasn't for their unrivaled reign over handheld gaming consoles and their newest creation, the Nintendo Double Screen, Nintendo would not have survived through not only the limited success of the GameCube, but the outright failure of the Wii. But what was Sony doing all this time? Sony was just flipping the bird at Microsoft that they had no intention of competing with them for multiplayer. Most of the Nintendo generation of gamers disliked the Xbox's style of gaming and bought the PlayStation 3, enjoying the continuation of Sony's single-player exclusives like Ratchet & Clank, and the new North American single-player games like Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption, and God of War. There was then a divide between North American gamers over which console was superior. The younger Xbox generation boasted over the console's party chat, multiplayer perfections, and faster hardware. The older Nintendo generation had no choice but to defend themselves, pointing out the hardware was faulty and the gamers were arrogant and unruly, as 8-year-olds screaming and swore on the video games they forced their parents to buy, plaguing the online gaming realm. A great example of this was when the PlayStation Network went down, and the Xboxers went crazy, laughing at us, opening up their arms and false welcoming to join the dark side. This of course was done primarily by the Call of Duty gamers of the Xbox community, which they were then claiming that thousands of players, that's players with a capital P, were switching over. As a PlayStation owner and a longtime Call of Duty player, I said this when the network went down. I guess I'll play all my other games? We could care less if the PSN went down. We had so many other games to play. It's not like the console is useless if the network is down. We just can't play COD and Battlefield Online. And this is the point I'm trying to make. The PlayStation and the Xbox are made for different styles of gaming. The PlayStation continues the Japanese style of gaming, which is single player, and the Xbox is made for the new American style of gaming, which is multiplayer. Neither console is better than the other, as they are made for two separate kinds of gamers. And because of this fact that millions of gamers seem to overlook, I can say without any doubt that there is no real console war. It's just overhyped propaganda that in the end doesn't intimidate me. Say what you want, Xbox fanboys, but everything you've got can be done with ease. Party chat? Skype! Multiplayer? Do it Nintendo style, get on the couch with 3 of your friends and duke it out. Or if you die in single player, pass the fucking controller over. Savvy? Of course, this might all change soon. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox None are now doing the same kind of crap that I, as a true gamer, cannot accept. Now that they are becoming very similar, there could be a true console war brewing. But since the Xbox None is making far too many mistakes, it might just end up like Sega and giving up on consoles for good. What am I doing, you may ask? I'm honestly gonna wait 2 years before buying the PS4, and that's only a maybe after I give it a whirl at my friend's place. For now, I'm getting the Wii U. I think it's time to go back to the old ways and play some Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, and so many great looking games, along with the next Super Smash Brothers with the legendary Mega Man! Don't get why Wii Fit Trainer Girl and Villager are in there, but fuck it. It's got Mega Man! So overdue. Anyways guys, I hope you finally understand what I'm saying and don't yell at me for being a fanboy of some kind. I never really did say anything bad about the Xbox, just that it doesn't suit my style of gaming. But whatever your style is, I hope it's fair and open to all kinds of genres. If you have anything to say about that, say it in the comments down below. If you are new to this channel and want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you heard, don't forget to hit the like button. This is DragonoftheEastblu saying sail on, and if you would excuse me, I got some Mega Man to play. Dr. Wily, prepare to meet your maker.